Mm, here we go. Little bit of technical things going on. But here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Hey, family. Woo. Okay. We are here in the moment, in the now. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this special edition of our Autumn Breath Immersion series. We have an incredible time we are in. I don't need to really say that to you, but I'm sure you are experiencing the power of these creative times, showing up in various ways, challenging relationships, dealing with health issues, needing to care for our elders, care for our society, navigate the transformation of our financial systems. I don't, going on and on. I was about to say, I don't need to talk about those things because you can look out at the world and see what's going on. What we are talking about here is gathering around this fire of love, looking at that fire of love as the infinite intelligence guiding this creative universe, megaverse, this life that we're living. There is an intelligence that guides it. And what is the way? Here's my goal. What is the way to tap into it so that from moment to moment, we feel connected to something that gives us a deep sense of peace, knowing that we are guided. Knowing that we are guided on that optimal path of health, wealth, and joyful living, even though we may face challenges, even though there may be situations that are not allowing us to experience that sense of peace. It's not allowing us to experience that. And we're here to say that there is a source, there is a force, there is an energy that allows that. And it's happening from moment to moment. If you look out at the nature around you and how it's operating, even though there's stress on our ecosystem due to our own human activities, nature is still doing what it is programmed to do. As I look out, I'm returning to my family, thank God. Family is so important. I think it is the key to world peace. But as I look out at the nature here, so many things going on in our Mother Ocean, the waters of life, but the waves are still flowing in. There's this sense, and the message that I hear is continue to breathe deeply into the way you are designed, my child, and you will see the ways to create a beautiful life. Because those waves, the surface are still going out. Even though the plastic is washing up on the shore and we keep cleaning up and keep that cleanup going to the source where we clean up our act of how we use certain things and put certain things into circulation with our ingenuity. So let's distill it down to ourselves. That's what we're here for. And this class is immersion, so we can move into the embodiment of this intelligence, this fire of love, not only being something we gather around, but the more we gather around it together, we begin to embody it and experience this force of creativity within us that dissolves the anxiety, the overwhelm, and the uncertainty or the fear of the uncertainty. It begins to dissolve these energies that come from observing circumstances that are unfolding, creating that sense of uncertainty. And how do we prevent the uncertainty? We navigate for answers, and then we become overactive in our mind, trying to figure out the answers to the challenges and problems that we face. And then there is that anxiety that comes because it is not the way we are going to get to the answers and the solution. Sure, we can calculate and we can, get the logarithms and we can intellectualize the solutions. But what we're talking about is that deep sense of knowing what to do, which can only come from your internal awareness fed by the life force and consciousness that gives you the ability to experience intuitive insights. It gives you the ability to experience inspiration that ignites you into a creative process, right? It activates you, that it's inspiration. And then the synchronicity that places what you need into the moment to experience the fulfillment of that creative vision. That's what we're here to tap into, and we become that fire of love. When those angels descend upon us, we are the embodiment of that fire of love. And where does that fire of love come from? It comes from that source that sends this energy to each and every one of us as we inhale and exhale. Yeah, that respiration of life. So let's go ahead and tune in and dive into this respiration of life, this way to cultivate a relationship I have come to experience and now know from that experience that by focusing in on the breath, we draw into our awareness the presence of this life force of consciousness, the presence of this infinite energy that comes to us, the same energy. When you look out your window, whatever gives life its existence, its ability to exist. We are the embodiment of that. Yeah. So let's activate that embodiment so that the inspiration and intuition can bring the visions that are for you to fulfill. And when you step into them, small steps by small steps, like coming to watch this video and experiencing, connecting through conscious movement and the breath as we focus in. Let me give you the topic before we tune in, because when we tune in, we're going to go through the journey. We're going to go into the journey, and then I'm going to share a few things with you as we go through a recap. But what we're doing today is accessing this infinite intelligence without too much of a script. I want you to get a sense of awakening mostly to the inner visions, setting up your brain waves to receive these inner visions that are vibrating with you right now. We call the embodiment of your purpose for being here, the essence of your being, we call it your soul. And I really see that we are in this resetting of remembering the union, remembering the oneness with this infinite intelligence that we are. The I am that we see stories written about in the scriptures, embodied by the metaphor of Moses. If we were to draw into the metaphorical and metaphysical aspect of the language that was used to bring these teachings, which is Aramaic, right? These were the cosmic unfolding of who we are, as well as sharing the stories, because many people didn't read, sharing the stories of how to come into oneness or remember the ways to be that oneness. That's in the Middle Eastern mystical way, and then you have the mystical way of the Himalayas, right? Himalaya, that's how the way you like to say it, as we receive it through the yogic teachings. This way of remembering the ones. Yeah. Yoga. So we'll dive into a little bit of that, but let's go ahead and tune in and go ahead and have an experience before I give you the topic. How about that? Before I give you the topic, let's go into the infinite intelligence that runs this body by focusing on the breath and consciously moving the body to purge any stagnation that is physical, metaphysical, or energetic or spiritual. Right? So the physical is the lymphatics and the blood flow, right? Moving that energy. The metaphysical is the light energy that flows through the nervous system. That when you begin to open up these channels for the nerve energy to flow, the nerve impulses, there's a connection, a deeper connection, deeper synthesis, right? Even a deepening of symbiosis between this physical energy of existence that we are and the energetic. So then there are the energetic aspects of our system, which in the yogic energy anatomy is called nadis, and very important portals of this energy, vortices, if you will, are the chakra system or wheels of light, these energy centers that we have in our body that are very much associated, that are the embodiment of consciousness that gives us the experience of life. So rather than just receiving impulses, energy impulses, right? Energy fluctuations, energy disturbances, right? This energy pulse that gives us the experience of life through the eyes, through the nose, through the taste, through the ears, through our feeling receptors. And then the mind begins to create algorithms from memories of these impulses, pulling together all of the input that's been given to us through parents, siblings, friends, lovers, TV programs. Look at that word, programs. Entertainment, stories that are told by others. And all of this comes to center itself around an identity that we have of ourselves. Are we overwhelmed? Are we fearful? Right? Have we been betrayed? Are we lonely? Are we feeling a sense of overwhelm in the mind, being overactive and not sleeping? Being associated or attached to a certain way of doing things, a pattern that is unhealthy, called an addiction. Right? All of these ways we create. And we can also settle into establishing a rhythm to our day. We get up a little bit before the sun and involve ourselves in timeless activities that those who've gone before us have mastered ways to open this nervous system, to free the flow of blood and lymphatics, and allow ourselves to activate the energy system so that there's a sense of mastery in the experience of life. There's also that channel of experience is also available. And so here's where we make the choice. As we flow, you have that choice to focus in on the breath. I really want you to feel that choice, the power of choice, right? I got to get that down for a moment. That we experience the power of that choice. Got to get that down. Experience the power of choosing life. Let's go into that. Just choosing life as it was designed to bring forth an experience. Let's rub the hands together. Feel himself, feel him getting warm. It's all about the activation, right? It's all about the activation. Being able to activate your life. To activate your life from where it is, however way you would describe it presently, into the full awareness of your potential. That allows your awareness, your focus to move beyond what the mind has extrapolated out of the data that you collected from the past. Move beyond the data collected from the past. Step into your creative nature in this moment. And here's the twist. From the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, is reviewing the data has a purpose. But when it comes to the infinite potentiality of the moment, now there's a focus on what you're here to create. And the creative vision is not of the mind, it is of the soul. That will bring you exactly what you need to do, exactly who you need to be is in your awareness, and exactly what you need shows up through synchronicity. So let's move into this activation, continuing to rub the hands. And focus. Feel them get warm. I will mention the focus of our breathing practice. As we come into this, this light that is shining in on the unconscious, shining in on all the energies that have been stored unconsciously because of this ecliptic portal that we are in. It is a revelation time. It is also a time where you can go into the mysteries of your soul, go into that library of infinite energy. I really want you to start to breathe deep, like pressing the palms together. Really feel it get warm. If you have glasses on, you're going to need to take them off. Showing you a little qigong, a little very effective, a subtle effective qigong clearing of the eyes and calming the brain. The hands formed from the head, so this is really powerful. Now, I really want you to start to feel warmth in your arms. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of the mineral deposits that makes the arms feel tired as you press. So that's when you know you're really getting into it. Activating the heart center with that breath and pressing the palms together is activating those pectoral muscles. So this is activating the heart center. Putting a little pressure on that sternum will stimulate the thymus glands. So let's get into it. Feel the rhythm of your hands and the rhythm of your breath. Last few seconds. A little faster. A little deeper. Quickly place the center of the palms over the eyes. Let's just do that. Let's let out the sound. Ha on the exhale. Really clearing for the heart center. Ha. Again, and the sound can be invigorating. Ha. There's a balance between release and regeneration. Ah, clearing the connection between the heart brain and the cranial brain. Ah, using the voice to vibrate and elevate. Ah, time. Ah. Allow the breath to be normal as you feel the energy in the center of your palms seeping in through the eyes, the optic nerve into the center of the brain, beginning to create a glow of energy tuned to your favorite color, expanding, expanding into the tissues of the cranium, your brain, your scalp, your hair, down the neck, into the shoulders, your arms, your hands, lighting all the cells up as it seeps down from the shoulders into the torso, to all the vital organs, muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, into the hips, down the legs, into the feet. Now the feet begin to form into roots up to the ankles, and your roots are invited into Mother Earth, into their own channel. As your body has come from Mother Earth, you have your own channel of connection. And these roots easily and effortlessly, like water to a dry sponge, seeps into Mother Earth, guided to her core. You reach the core, glowing with this earth energy, infinite flow. This energy easily flows up your roots, into your body, into every cell, causing you to have this glow as you smile. Feel the love that gave you the opportunity to have an experience, this matter, this ma, that gave you matter to dwell in as a soul. Feel this love. It was given to you freely, formulated for you, this incredible regenerative spacesuit, so that you can have an experience. Think about that creative love that surrounds you, every cell. Smile, every cell doing what it is designed to do so you can have that experience. Feel the gratitude, keeping your eyes closed. Feel the breath, feel grateful for this life. Slide the hands down away from the eyes into prayer position, pressing the thumbs into the sternum slightly. And now we'll tune in with the sound current. And allow creation to flow into existence. It will be the sound current of AUM, all on one breath. Like so. That U sound is like the sound of hug, right? That U and hug. So really, if you want to deepen into it, if you can, you lift the muscles of the pelvic floor before generating the sound ah. And then when you come to lift, feel the lifting around the navel area. Oh, oh, ugh, oh. The lifting. And then you come to the and really feel it vibrate as the energy flowed from lifting the pelvic floor. Oh, lifting the navel area. So there's this flow of energy that you are embodying, right? Drawing in the infinite energy of the one, the ah, right? Into the integration of that you. Look at that shape of that you, how it collects this life force. So this body can exist. And distribute it through this body. with that M sound, and you feel that vibration. So let's go into it and really embody this idea of experiencing the power to choose. Yeah. Okay. Closing your eyes, palms are pressed together, thumbs into the sternum so that you feel this vibratory energy that you are. Feeling yourself as a vibratory being, choosing to recognize yourself as an energy being. Yeah. Okay. Feel it. Choosing to represent yourself as an energy being. And that representation happens with the focus on your breath and your ability to use it. Mantra is a pranayama, really. So we're in a pranayama practice with this tune in. That's going to bring us right into our practice today. We're not putting a label on our class yet. The only label we are choosing is focus on being this life force and consciousness that gives us the ability to be. Right? Let's start there. Okay. Pressing the palms, spine straight and tall. Feel the connection to the center of creation and your roots at the core of Mother Earth. Feel yourself like this tree of life. When you, with this long, deep inhale, as your palms are pressed together, feel a sense of your tree growing, 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 being into the cosmos, see the stars, and feel yourself tap into the source of consciousness, the source of creation itself. And feel the flow of consciousness down your core, the source of life, energy that gives us the ability to be conscious. Feel it flow down the center of your tree, in through your crown, and into your body, merging and creating beautiful colors that you choose as it merges with the earth chi. This is what respiration is, this flow, right, of the breath. And now we're going to add sound to it, allowing a clearing as well as an invigorating, vibratory lifting, right, of your energy field. So powerful you are. And now let's experience it. Inhaling together. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Long inhale. If you're joining us on lifting and pulling the root locks and things, then lift the pelvic floor and begin. Feel the vibration. Feel your instrument pulling the locks. You are vibration. Oh. last one, a little higher pitched. Oh. Inhale deeply. Lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. If it's comfortable for you, draw the navel point in and up, tuck in the chin. Draw the eyes up and in. Hear the mantra within. Sound of our Creator, creating creation. Gently exhale out the mouth. Relax the hands from the prayer position and just allow them to be suspended above the legs. And you can keep your eyes closed as we flow into long, deep breathing. Really allow the sound current we just initiated our practice with to permeate the awareness of every cell. And you are the catalyst of that as you breathe in through the pores. Long, deep breathing as if each pore in your skin is a nose. I know that's a crazy visual, but let it seep into your imagination that you're breathing through the skin. Long and deep. Feel the shoulders release and relax as you exhale. Long, deep, filling. Breath flows into the pelvis. Feel the pelvis spread. Opening and exhaling. Completely release. If it's comfortable, you draw the belly button towards the spine. Different than forcing it and pushing it, but just have an awareness of completion of the release and feel the body relax as you return to the gratitude of receiving the life force and consciousness. Feel the answers that are there as you feel the inhale. Feel the solutions are there because they are for every cell of your body. If it's taking care of trillions of cells, then it can take care of you. Exhale, feel the release. Don't worry about what to release, just feel the release, knowing that the intelligence is there and knows what to release. So sink into the stillness, because that's what we're cultivating with our movements today. Long, deep breathing. Continue. I'm speaking on purpose so that you grow in your ability to move through life and still be focused consciously on your breath. Feel that flow. Follow the breath. Now begin to hear the sound of it. Following the breath focuses the mind. Hearing the sound of the breath brings a deeper focus that moves you into controlling the mind. As you hear the sound, you will begin to have more control of the sound that you generate. So that in the beginning was the Word, is the teaching in the scripture. Putting the creative power inside you. The Word was with God and the Word was God. And I like to say the Word is God. Putting that creative control in your hands, if you will. So hear the sound of the breath. Now, using this as a foundation, following the breath, long and deep, it will be the foundation of what we're experiencing today. I want you to go ahead, and if you're sitting in a chair, bring your hands to your knees. If you're sitting in your mat, on your mat, slide the hands down to your shins as we continue to empty, clearing the central channel now. Begin our spinal flexors. If you're new to this, my hands represent your pelvic bones. The crest moves forward on the inhale, back on your tailbones on the exhale. First connecting with the breath, creating the movement before we deepen into any aspect of this practice, this very powerful practice of clearing the central nerve channels, 3 major ones. We won't worry about the labeling or names of those right now. Just notice 3 major channels that flow through the center of your being. From the tailbone up, and the right and left ones terminate in your nostrils. So this movement helps to clear the space, which clears the channels through which your thoughts flow. And as you do that, you release the attachment to entertaining thoughts that no longer serve who you are, being and becoming, as you transform from the being that you know that lives in the past. So this movement here is where we get a chance to let go of the entanglement with the past. Its chaotic influence on creating an identity that is false. Now, as the spine warms, you feeling your connection to the breath moving the body. Deepen the breath, and maybe you deepen the movement. That movement may go a little faster, or it just may be a sense of moving deeper at the same pace. So you figure out where that is for you based on the flexibility of your spine and the health of your spine. should be a sweet feeling of opening and expanding, exploring into tight areas that respond immediately with each flex. You begin to feel an opening. Sometimes these waves of chills, almost orgasmic chills, can begin to resonate throughout the body as you experience the opening of these nerve channels. And the more you practice, the more this sense of opening, the ecstasy of the opening can be experienced. So for those of you that may have had any type of operations on the spine, any tightness that's being experienced, may feel challenged to the movement, deepen into the breath and the imagination. Here too you can find the same ecstasy, the same opening that surfaces as this experience of these orgasmic chills that ripple through the body. So depending on where you are, if you need to move more into the imagination, as you know with Olympic athletes, when they imagine their event, like say a hurdler, the same muscles will twitch and be activated on the EEG or the EKG or however way they're measuring the impulses through the muscles. They react and respond to the imagining of doing the event, just like they were physically doing the event. So if the mind tries to create an excuse, oh, I can't do that, this is where we breathe through it, we breathe into it, and we activate by emptying ourselves of these false images and just focusing on the breath, giving us access to this consciousness and life force, embodying us as a creative being. Okay, so for the last few seconds, deepen in. Maybe that looks like moving faster, focused on the breath moving you faster. Or maybe it looks like just deepening your release and deepening your receiving. Be sure to keep the breath balanced. That will keep the experience of elevating your energy field balanced so it doesn't grow too fast. Now, if it's available to you, stay at this pace. But if you can move a little faster, let the breath go a little deeper. Let's go for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale, strengthen, straighten the body, lift the crown into the center of creation, lift the muscles of the pelvic floor, draw the navel point in and up, tuck in the chin, eyes draw in and up, hold, sip a little air, hold, strengthen the body, all the muscles. Counting breath out the mouth. Inhaling deeply, freely, allow it to flow. Inhale to exhale. Now I'm going to have you stand. Let's see, I'm feeling inspired here. Yes, beautiful. Want to flow into the core. We're going to do it a little differently today. Allowing a twisting. Again, listen to your spine. You can't see my feet. My feet are about hip width to shoulder width distance apart. Feet are parallel to each other. And you begin to have your knees slightly bent. Now, allow your tailbone to sink into Mother Earth, which causes a little shift of the pelvis. Right? You're sinking into your knees. The legs are strong, but you're not forcing the strength. You're just feeling the strength of the thigh muscles engaged as you sink slightly into it. I want you to begin allowing, just moving from the shoulders, feeling the core. Let the arms just dangle. Right? And tap on the body. Just get a feel for this. Feeling the foundation of your feet as the roots. Twisting of your body, which is activating every joint in the body. Allowing the subtle tapping. Again, if you're on your cycle or pregnant, find your way to tap on the body where it's comfortable for you. So this is invigorating for the central nervous system, coming down to the spine, peripheral nervous system that radiates out from the spine. So radiating out from the brain, the spinal cord. You're activating, clearing these metaphysical channels of light called the nervous system. As you twist, you're also subtly moving the fluids of the body. Fluids through the joints, the lymphatic system, as well as the circulatory system. And if you can, as long as it's comfortable, feel now an intent to vibrate right at the hips. Right at the hips. Feel this vibration in the front and in the back. It's a very foundational areas in acupuncture. These energy channels now, spiritual channels, called meridians in the Chinese medical system. You're invigorating the flow of energy through the liver channel, gallbladder channel, kidney channel, urinary bladder channel, right? Stomach channel, spleen channel. So these vital foundational organs that run through the legs, this motivation in your life, right? As you assimilate the liver, keep going. As you assimilate these energies that appear to come out of nowhere, and we're in these eclipse portals, these energies that come, these memories, these circumstances that are showing up in our life that are unknown, like a pandemic or a change in our financial systems, our medical systems, these political systems, these challenges, right, that distills into our family experiences and then into our own experiences. Keep moving. We are moving to allow ourselves, our mind in particular, to connect to a flow. You're relaxing your arms, but at the same time guiding them. So this is this base of emptiness, right? Where there's a sense of emptiness in the arms. You know, stop guiding them. Just move your core and just let your arms go where they go. So here is a sense of control in your core. There's an emptiness in your arms. Feeling that. Feel that for a moment. Get a sense of that. And there's a sense of emptying when you exhale. And filling on the inhale. So imagine if you could just empty every time, just completely empty, and allow the infinite intelligence to fill you, instead of the mind filling us with the information. Of course, it's a play, right? So let's play with life. As Shakespeare said, all the world is a stage. All right, so now with some intention, right? Allow the loose fists to tap on the hips, front and back. All right, beautiful. Come, just allow yourself to come center. yourself empty. So now we're going to do an ancient technique. Now there's an emotional freedom technique that involves tapping. But the pulsing of the body has been a very important part of rejuvenating protocols for centuries, right? So we're going to tap down the outsides of the legs, up the insides of the legs, and then you'll see the rest of the body. I'm explaining that part because you can see, and then we're going to come up the sides, right? So liver on the right, spleen on the left. We're going to come up. Right? We've got ascending and descending colon, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. So we're tapping in there and we'll come up right to the sides of the chest muscles, into the sternum. Then we're going to go across each arm, right? Focusing on the collarbone. So we're going to go down the outside, up the inside, same way we did with the legs. And we're going to come back. It's a very special bone back here, that seventh vertebrae that protrudes a bit. We're going to tap on there. We're going to release some sounds that are associated with the various organs. Right? And it'll intuitively pop up. I will let you know what organ it is. It'll be leaning into the kidneys and the liver because there's a lot of things going on there right now as we assimilate. But we're in the time of the lungs, so we'll see how that unfolds. And then we'll come across the top of the head and we're going to use the beds of the fingernails and we're going to go like so, across this area where the gallbladder meridian and the urinary bladder meridian. Right? We're going to go 36 times across there. Then we're going to come into a little bit of the emotional freedom technique style that's been, let's say it's been revealed for us in this time through the gentleman that brought the emotional freedom technique into its protocol. But we're going to activate centers around here. We got the beginning of the urinary bladder, we got the beginning of the gallbladder, we got some stomach meridians going on that we're going to activate. Right? And then come back down the center of the body in a soothing way. Okay, so that's going to be our flow for really releasing these channels because we're coming to that lunar eclipse and it's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse. Right? This is a full opening of light into what might be considered the darkness or the unconscious, but the way the ancients passed on the teaching of this opening, right, to reveal what needs to be seen and tended to, versus hiding from and avoiding. So some things may be challenging, so we want the nervous system to have the capacity to handle it. Right? And essentially, our goal is to become empty. So we're clearing to become empty. So as we fill ourselves with the energy of consciousness and life force, that we're not just bringing energy to something that we're avoiding and then bringing more avoiding energy. So you ever had a habit that's been hard to break? Yeah, it's tapped into an avoiding energy. And that is giving us some kind of relief from a perceived pressure that we've buried. Become so ingrained, maybe that's generational, right? Entrainment, right? That we've been conditioned to be in those habits. But they're so under the radar, so much wired, so wired into our being that we don't realize that we're on a loop. And this is what we're looking to release by activating the nervous system so we can be aware of those loops. And even if we don't know how to do it, you can call your brother Ak and says, hey man, I need to schedule a session so we can work this thing out. I need to figure this situation out here, figure out the way to empty our nervous system. So this is what we're going to do right now. I'm bringing you along for practice because I had to drop right into class, didn't get a chance to practice, and now you get a chance to practice with me. All right. Settling into that long, deep breath, tapping down the outside of the legs. To the feet, up the inside of the legs, into the hips a bit. If it's available to you and comfortable, come into that lower abdomen a little bit. It's gentle tapping, below the belly button, across the pubis symphysis, where the right and left hip bone come together in front. This area very powerful for awakening the sea of life force that resides in the bowl of the pelvis. So tapping here into the hip bones. I want you to come to the back and tap into the sacrum. And here you're making loose fists. Come up as high as you can into the kidneys. And put down to the sacrum. Remember that long, deep breath. And allow the hands to linger a little bit towards the outside. This area gets very little attention unless you have a very deep yogic practice or qigong practice or mindful movement practice. Loose fists come, turn to lower abdomen. Again, you should feel invigorated, never uncomfortable. So go as gentle and soft as you need to, so it feels invigorating to connecting to this physical body. Allowing it to release. Now come up the sides, activating that ileocecal valve on the right, sigmoid colon on the left. Coming up a little higher into the ascending, descending colon, as well as beginning to enter into the realm as you get closer to the ribs, spleen on the left, liver on the right, so be gentle. If your liver is congested or spleen is congested, it may feel sensitive to you. And for some of us that haven't done this before, it just may feel so new. You're awakening the vital energy systems as well as the nervous system in this area. So begin coming center, right? Just see if you can vibrate the outside muscles and the ribs up here to the upper chest, and then let the fingers come into the sternum. Gently activating your thymus gland. This activates your immune system. It also opens up heart intelligence, vibrating this way, helping to relax any anxiety if it resides here for you. This is where I discovered the release of the pressure in my chest, and I began to learn about Qi about 19 years old, being part of this Prosperity Circle in Honolulu, New York with Rabia Bakar. Thank you, Rabia, if you happen to see this. And meeting a gentleman in that class, I found this picture the other day. Now I have to remember his name. Forgive me if you happen to see this. Thank you for introducing me to Tai Chi, but particularly Qigong, which is the warm-up before Tai Chi. It just opened up my world. All right. And now come up to the collarbone. The breath is long and deep. This is very important vibratory energy that resonates in the collarbone. And my Qigong teacher, Lila Pavadam, will speak about it being very balancing for the brain. Now we're going to go to the arms. So you take the left arm and go across. The hand down the right arm. Around the wrist and the hands. your arm here, cross, the right hand, down the outside of the left arm, into the wrist, the hand, loving every cell, up the inside, and the arm, again being gentle. And then we're going to come to that C7, cervical vertebrae, tapping on that. And I want you to hear yourself say, I now release energies I no longer need. To be the successful expression of my soul. I now release the energies I no longer need. To be the successful expression of my soul. I now release the energies I no longer need. I now release the energies I no longer need. I now release the energies I no longer need. I now release the energies I no longer need. Now we graduate to this I am successful expression of my soul. I am the successful expression of my soul. I am the successful expression of my soul. I am that I am. Beautiful. Now come to your fingernail beds. We're going to rub back and forth. Using the beds of your fingernails like so. Beautiful. Now come tapping between the brow bone. Simply I am that I am. Hear that going on inside. Come round to the side of the eye. Hear that. I am that I am. And if there are any feelings that are there, any feelings that are lingering from the past, I share one of mine with you. And you'll say it this way. Even though, when you fill in the blank, I feel such and such, I deeply love and appreciate myself. And you're saying this inside, so you're connecting with the voice of your soul and saying it this way, really emptying at your core, so that the fruiting thoughts from these core false beliefs, they no longer come, because we're going to the source of it by doing it this way. So I say, even though I feel inadequate, I deeply love and appreciate myself, because I am that I am. Now, come down to the eye socket, but come down to the bottom. There's an important flow of energy that comes out the bottom of the eye. You can feel the little dip as you rub your finger across the eye socket. You can press into that little dip, and you can really be clearing for the energy around the eyes. Feel that little exhale. Here comes one of those sound purges that regulates and energizes. Take a deep inhale. And we're going to make the sound shoo. Inhale. Shoo. Shoo. Last one. Shoo. See the eyes of the window to the liver. You release any of that energy that may cause resistance, anger, frustration, intolerance. Cultivate that connection, compassion, and kindness. So tapping on it now. Any energies come up, just simply say, I love you. If those energies come up and you recognize them as these remnants from the past, as we are emptying ourselves, you can begin to see the patterns when you empty. And recognize those patterns that are not productive for you being in alignment with your soul. They're more productive for you being in alignment with the mind, the mind of mass consciousness. So you tap in here, you can say, even though I'm uncertain, I have anxiety about that, I deeply love and appreciate myself. I am that I am. I deeply love I am that I am. Now, come into the cheekbones, come towards the side where you come to that joint, the jawbone joint, tapping into that gently. For some people this can be a sensitive area. Come into the muscles in here. Just feel the mouth relax. We're going to let out our heart sound here. Just feel the release of how the heart speaks using the mouth. Empty from things you've said that you regret. Empty from things that were said to you that were harmful. Just let go of it all. Empty, empty, empty. You come into the jawbone, down towards the chin. Even though I feel such and such, even though I may regret such and such, I deeply love and appreciate. I am that I am. I am that I am. Hear it? Now, coming down into the sternum. Let's just begin rubbing that sternum. Feeling the vibration. Okay, the last part of the purging, we should begin to shake the wrists. Preparing this body, sweeping out the aura, around the head, around the eyes, around the ears, sweeping it out. Okay, first, I've got to tell you, take your finger, index finger. 2, if you really need to create a portal of releasing and emptying in a way for this energy to travel out to Mother Earth or to the heavens, allowing it to release. And this gesture was saying, hey, look, I got the lesson. I'm ready to let it go, universe. I'm letting you know. I'm sending notice. I'm ready to let this go. It's eviction time. I'm no longer holding on to these patterns. And that's what creating this portal of release is all about. Recognizing that after we finish our session, this portal can close and we can open it at any time. Taking the 2 pointer fingers, let's make it a way of coming into the oneness with duality. I want you to make a clockwise motion, following that clock from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and make it like a spiral into Mother Earth, into that center of Mother Earth Chi, where this energy can be transformed and redistributed to those that need these lessons, right? So we are energy beings, and we're not claiming this to be our identity. We're releasing this and opening up this portal so we can release it. If it's an earthly energy that needs to be released, if it's a heavenly energy, then we take that same finger and we look at the clock going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, making that spiral into the center of creation. So now as we release, we let it go where it needs to go, but we acknowledge that we no longer can live here. Right? So, around the crown, ears, eyes, nose, mouth, in through the throat center, heart center, into the digestive system, into the hips, the productive centers, coming to the back, gently tap with the fingers. Beautiful. All right? So now come to the shoulders. Feel the shoulders moving. Right? Everything else relaxes. Before the shoulders, let's do the funky chicken. Right? Let's get this, opening up these lymphatics, opening up this brachial plexus, allowing that communication between the cranial line, the heart, brain, and the gut. Right? So get this going, this funky chicken. Right? Tap on those ribs. This is opening up that gut brain. Right? Releasing any recorded storage of information that comes from the generational genome, that way of thinking and our behavior that gets locked into the tendons. So we want this rib cage to be open and flexible. Right? Sometimes we record the way people breathe when we're children. Right? We see everything. Right? We record the way they breathe when they're angry. So then they look at us when we are acting like what they think is anger. They say, are you upset? Right? It seems like you're upset, you're angry, or frustrated. What's going on? And all of a sudden we get these labels put on us, right? But now, get us in that funky chicken. Play with it. Go where your body allows it to go. All right, now into the shoulders. Feel it at first. Everything else is relaxed. But see how when you focus on the shoulders, how the body is accommodating for the movement. So this isolation, yet in the isolation there's the integration. So this is the paradoxical metaphor of emptying, right? Allowing ourselves to come empty, and at the same time we get filled. But we're emptying what we no longer need. Right? So get to the shimmy shake now. Keep that long deep breath. Just focus on the shoulders. Beautiful. Put your hand on the sternum like this. Begin to move the chest. Now, put your hands just around the belly button, just a little bit below. And get this moving. Kind of isolate, feel yourself isolate. The center of your being. Notice how much of the body comes along for the ride. Again, you're getting into this core clearing, clearing out the joints, clearing this sometimes the mental thoughts cause accumulation of physical energies like metabolic waste from the processes your body is going through. It can move slowly because we're electromagnetic beings. So the electromagnetic flow of nerve impulses that is allowed consciousness to be activated with a thought. All of that is connected to the movement of electrons, right? The movement of photons, right? The movement of this life force energy. So now, get into it. All right, now into the hips. So here's the one way, which is alternating, but now the knees are involved, right? So now you're going to isolate. All right, just keep the hips moving like so. So there's that slow movement feel when you move the hips, how many joints are involved in that, right? And with your hands on the hips here, now every joint is connected to this. But as we saw, the body is one. Move these joints. Now let's get a little faster, like shake your tail feather. should move in a way where the glute muscles are relaxed, so they can wiggle and shake. And this is where you get a chance to appreciate wherever your body is. But allowing your awareness of love to create the circulation into these layers of tissues, whether you look at them as fat or, I'm 59, so they're not as tight as they were when you were 29. It makes no difference. Right? We're emptying those ideas of what it is to be in this body. Emptying. So we can choose what we want to create, what labels we're going to use. In the beginning was the word. The word is the label. The label is the word. What are you going to choose? I choose to think of myself as energy before I consider myself human. That helps me. What about you? You might go the other way. I want to choose myself as human. Label myself as human before I consider myself energy. That's up to you. What works? All right, beautiful. Come down to the knees. Let me see if I can let you see my knees. All right, come make sure we're charging. All right, come down to the knees. Yeah. And just give them, boom, like so. Go slow at first. In knee operations, move in a way that's comfortable for you. Your physical therapeutic exercises. If you had any knee operations, go into it in a way where you're invigorating the connection through what you've already been given by your therapeutic professional to help you recover from that operation. Right? All in all, move with awareness. Yeah, feel that now. Go a little faster. Now down to the feet, right? Let's get this in here. You want to make sure you get this. So we're going back and forth. Flat-footed. Again, the invigorating energy flowing up the body into the bones, really creating this connection. We're really getting into invigorating the bones, this piezoelectric effect. You're activating the bones with this movement. Also, you can feel the sense of emptying, right? As you move a little faster, once you get used to it. So you're almost like a robot if you were a robot. Right? Like my robot. And now get into it a little faster. You may be here. That's all right. But feel with every tap of the sole of your feet on Mother Earth, you're activating your soul. That is one with the Earth's soul. That's one with the Moon's soul. That's one with the Sun's soul. That's all. That's one with our solar system soul. That's one with our galaxy soul, and so on. You got it. Now, if you get the hang of it, you can go a little faster, like a tap dance. Now come nice and still. Breath is long and deep. Watch me for a moment. We're going to open up to the sides, coming up a bit on our toes, coming down gently, but with intention to release all that we stirred up, like so. And then letting it go. Again, we have that portal, so it's there to take care of everything. Inhale. Empty. Empty. Beautiful. So we'll take two different types of inhales and exhales. One is going to be purging, where the exhale is longer. The other will signify the new minute to tonify, enriching, focusing on revitalizing with an intent to strengthen now. Okay? Our first one, opening up to the sides. Inhale is a little shorter than the exhale. Exhale. Feel the final release. Bottom of the exhale, hands will be by the hips and thighs. Pause for a moment. Igniting this release, empty. Feel the emptiness. Open and fill with the revitalizing, invigorating energy of life force and consciousness. Feel your gratitude. As we now exhale, quicker pace. Just put your hands in your abdomen. Rub the lower back. And just let your hands slide down like so. This is a final release. Yeah? How you doing? You all right? All right. Okay. Now, before we go into our breathing practice and then into our meditation, palms are suspended. And just feel that access to you through the breath. This you that is creative, it is energy. And you have the ability to choose how you identify yourself. All right, so for our breathing meditation, we will be diving into continuing to expand this concept, which is somewhat of our focus today, if you haven't already figured it out. I wanted to stay away from labeling it because this was about, you're going to be going into this ecliptic energy deeper with the moon. There's going to be so much to identify that needs to change, and so much to identify that you may have the opportunity to embody. That you want to really come from a clear place of zero and step into that identity that supports our soul's mission, that supports our mission for being here, which gives the opportunity to choose the label of what is fulfilling, to choose the activity that can be labeled what is fulfilling, what promotes your health and well-being, what draws to you the abundance that you need to take care of everything that serves your soul. Yeah? Okay. So this meditation is on igniting that pranic energy in the body. So the thumbs are going to go to the Mercury finger mound. So this communication, I look at it, since the pinky is about communication, I think about what gives us the ability to communicate, and that is that life force and consciousness. So therefore, this, for me, feels like a connection to that energetically through the use of this technology, right, of arranging the hands in a certain way to create an electromagnetic field, because that's what is spoken about in the Middle Eastern, by the Middle Eastern mystics when it comes to the laying on of hands that is written in the scriptures, right? Okay, so we're going to then place thumbs together, right there, And bring the fingers together, like so. Right, so it winds up looking like this. Forearms are parallel to the earth. And there's a sense of pressure here around that knuckle of the thumb. But I do want you to take care of yourself. The pressure, it teeters on the edge of uncomfortable, but it is more about the awareness and sinking into the awareness and feeling the release of the tendons and ligaments that may be tight due to us. How many times have you been in this position in your life, unless you are a Kundalini yogi? Okay? All right, you got that position? Okay, so now the eyes can be where you choose. Sometimes for me, it's about being more relaxed, so I don't put a position on the eyes. But in this practice, you can close the eyes and open them 1/10, just enough to look through, past the nose. Right, look at the tip of the nose, and you may see your fingers. Yeah? The breath now is going to be 8 segments, right? 8 equal sniffs through the nose. And 1 long flow out the mouth. Kind of pursed like you're going to whistle without the whistle. Really squeezing that air out. And then return to the nose. All right? So let's synchronize our breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Relaxing the shoulders. And we'll inhale 8 equal sniffs through the nose to begin. Closing the eyes. Exhaling mouth. Nice and complete. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Focus on the breath. 2 more minutes. About 15 more seconds. Deepen in. Last few cycles. Last cycle. Wherever you are, long, deep inhale through the mouth. Hold. Lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. Feel the strength in your body. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Hold. The muscles of the pelvic floor, navel point in and out. Tucking the chin, draw the eyes in and out. Feel the strength of your body. Strong muscles. Cannon breath out the mouth. Last time, inhale through the nose. Hold, lift. Muscles of the pelvic floor, navel point, tucking the chin, eyes draw in and up. Feel the flow of energy with the strong body. Sense the energy rising up your spine through your tree, connecting to the source of consciousness. Cannon breath out the mouth. Inhale, release the posture, stretch up. Deep inhale and exhale. Turn to suspending your hands above the thighs. Few breaths here, long, deep breathing. Mm. And just begin a gentle figure 8 pattern with your head. Just tuning into this infinite energy we are. As you come center, reverse direction. And inhale center. Exhale, relax. Keep your hands suspended. And we'll go through a little recap before we tune out. Have a sense of being open to this energy that you are. So, our topic today is about being empty, having that release. And through our practice, how to access the creative power of being empty. So the idea of being empty is to untangle from the past those memories, thoughts, ways of identifying with ourselves that no longer serves who we have the opportunity to be in the moment, and in some circumstances we need to be in the moment. I just got an image that maybe that's every moment. There's an opportunity to be what we need to be, meaning that need is connected to our mission for being here. Yeah, and however close to the mark we get or the bullseye, that's the exact thing. Again, that's a quantifying aspect of the mind. What we're talking about is just being in that behavior that serves, as we speak about it, when I am teaching or coaching or training someone to be empowered by the experience of life. There's a sense of being in alignment with the soul's mission. The soul being the infinite source of consciousness that is embodied in us, the I am that I am. So to be empty is to untangle from the past that causes a degenerative behavior and reintegrate with the moment without the calculations of the mind and be guided by the intuition of the soul, the inspiration that comes from the soul, and the synchronicity that aligning with the soul allows to bring whatever we need to do what we need to do. Yeah. Have you ever been in those moments, somewhat miraculous, where you needed a certain thing, or you needed to talk to someone, or you needed the information, and it all showed up? It all showed up, sometime all at once, where there's no doubt that there is an intelligence operating in your life on your behalf. We call it the fire of love. Fire because it transforms where we were in the past into a representation of love that is the breath. So that's why my practice has completely shifted since 2019, when I had a health crisis and the breath was there for me, when it felt like the body would no longer be there for me. And that's how it goes. So calling on the emptiness to be filled by your soul. And we access it through consciously breathing, consciously moving the body. Today we purged, so I will get a more focused practice on this merging of the breathing exercises and the yogic origins and the Qigong purging exercise. Right? And that is to prepare yourself to be one with the Qi, one with the life force, so that you can hear its guidance and use it for whatever you need. It allows you to be in alignment, healing and regeneration and the creative expression that generates the conditions for balance and beauty to express itself. Okay, so that's our session for today. Please, as we are in this ecliptic portal, as well as a deep transformation of empowerment. Hydrate yourself, hydrate yourself, hydrate yourself. Your body weight divided by 2 equals the number of ounces you should consume to hydrate your body weight. If you know there's a clearing going on, a little more extra activity happening, drink a little extra water. Yeah. But that way you won't overtax your kidneys. Of course, any of this advice is for your education. You go to your healthcare provider if you want to implement it into your life, or you take responsibility for yourself and implement it to see what results you get. Right? Get some liquid minerals to replenish yourself. The food nowadays, unless you're growing your own food and mineralizing your soil, a lot of the soils are depleted of minerals. So it's important to activate these electrolytes, these catalysts of energy exchange, these minerals. So you want to make sure you get an adequate amount of liquid minerals in your drinking water. If you're fortunate enough to have spring water, then you're getting it. If it's running, getting some water that's been running over some pristine areas and mountainous areas, going over the rocks and becoming electromagnetic, even more powerful, right? But for now, we become the electromagnetic energy, and you give love to your water when you have your voice. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. I'm here to take care of you. All right? And I thank you for taking care of me. Bring the palms together. Let's just tune out with 3 ohms. O-M, that sound of creation. Bringing it into its creation. Palms together, press the thumbs into the sternum. Feel yourself as this energy being. Let's inhale together. Exhale. Inhale to begin. A little higher pitch on this last one. Thank you, Creator, for all the life and sounds going on around us. Thank you for this awareness to look at this experience of life and see your presence through the eyes of our soul, to empty ourselves of busy forgetfulness that will cause us to focus on the past, creating a false illusion of safety in these familiar patterns, a false illusion of overwhelm and anxiety, stepping into new patterns. Thank you for the awareness that we are stepping into the true pattern, neither new or old. It is the pattern of our soul, the pattern of your love, the pattern of this respiration. As we focus on the inhale and exhale, thank you for replenishing us. Thank you for allowing us to empty. Thank you for allowing us to experience being creative, co-creative in this life. Thank you for the fulfillment. Thank you for the joy of living. Thank you for these challenges that empower us. And we ask that this awareness flow out to families, communities, nations that may be having challenges, that they release the need to control each other and they drop into the co-creative enthusiasm to generate beauty together. Even if we disagree, let us engage in this agreement of life that flows through the breath, and be honored to pass on a world to the children that is beautiful and allows them to take it to the next level. Thank you for the waters that flow and the food that grows to nourish us into the true awareness of who we are. We ask that this go out to all of our family and all of our relations. Ashe, 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 and so it is. Sat Nam. Hallelujah. Namaste. Until the next immersion. Hydrate, 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 and be gentle with yourself through this eclipse and the transformation that we are flowing through. Remember, you are a creative energy being and you are loved. By me, as a representative of creation, I'm here to let you know. Give thanks for the love that surrounds you. Until next week, one love.